Today's question is, Buddhism says we can free ourselves from attachments and be dispassionate. However, how can we do that when we have to part from our loved ones? For example, by death. If our loved ones die, how can it be possible that we can just simply let go of all our feelings? This question is a very important question and is often asked. Many people come to me and ask me how they can deal with death and the people that they have loved who have now disappeared from their lives because of death. And it's important to deal with this properly. You could say that there is a part of it that has to do with your attitude in general to life, and part of it has to do with how you deal with death when it happens. The first thing is that it's important in our lives to look at death in a way that is helpful. Many people find that death is something they cannot really deal with, cannot really relate with in a positive way or in any way. So they just exclude it. They don't want to hear about it, don't want to think about it in their lives. This is not a good thing. Death is part of our lives, and if we often reflect on it, it will be very helpful. The Buddha would talk about death in terms of being a messenger, like a sort of divine messenger or a messenger from, you could say a messenger from heaven or something like that, that will come to us to give us, to tell us about the importance of life. It doesn't mean that the Buddha thought of death as some divine intervention, but he talked about death as a sort of way of, we can consider like a teaching or something that can help us to reflect on our lives. So when we are confronted with death, whether it's in the people we love that are close to us, or whether we look at television and we see some news report about some people who have died, we can reflect on our own lives, on our own impermanence, and by that we can then reflect what is really important in our lives to do. Have we done enough good in our lives? Have we been able to overcome our mistakes in our life to the extent that we feel happy and joyful about our lives? If not, then maybe we should focus more on that rather than being led by the confusion of our everyday working life. Just try to focus, go back to who you are, and try to think about what you would like to accomplish in life that will make a difference for yourself and others. That is the important part as to your attitude towards death. Another part is that when you have someone who has passed away, when you know of someone who's close to you who's passed away, and you find that hard to deal with, then we have a tradition in Buddhism which we call the sharing of merits or the sharing of good karma. In which case we can, after meditation or after having done some good deeds, for example, giving a meal of food to the monastic community in your meditation center, or giving a donation to your meditation center, or whatever good deed we have done, we can close our eyes and we can imagine our loved one that has passed away, the one that was close to us, and we imagine that we share those good deeds with them, just like an energy that emanates from our mind to the other person's mind. And we may not even know where that person is. We may not know where he's been reborn, where he is now, but that doesn't matter. We simply share our good deeds with that person, and in that way we already have done a very good thing and have shown some respect, some recognition to that person. And it is a very good way also to deal with our sadness with our loss. Because often the problem is with when we are sad is we'd like to get that person back, but we can't. By giving rather than trying to take something back, we learn to let go and we learn to positively relate to the people that have passed away. So these are some ways in which you can deal with loss. Also, it's not exactly true that in Buddhism it is taught that we need to detach ourselves from everything. For example, certain values in Buddhism like wisdom, patience, compassion are good things. We do not need to detach ourselves from those things. But if something is not helping you, is not wholesome for your mind, then we need to detach ourselves from that in the proper way.